Commuting on a sport bike. I know a lot of people have their own opinions about it. I personally commute on a sport bike whenever I have to go out. I don't know if you guys already know, but I work in the field of IT. I pretty much work from home primarily, but not everything can be done from home. Sometimes you got to go on site. It happens to me about maybe twice a week. I have to go on site, maybe about an hour, hour and a half. Unless if it's a big server project, I'm going to be there overnight or whatever. But the question is do you commute on a sport bike? And yeah, I guess really the question is should you commute on a sport bike? Is it a good idea to commute on a sport bike? Personally, it doesn't bother me. I mean, I commute on a sport bike, and I've been commuting on a sport bike for over 10 years now, and it hasn't bothered me. Now, I do have a Suzuki B-King, which is better, I think, in my opinion, because, of the ergonomics. That's the biggest thing right there. I mean, it's the same exact engine as this bike, a different intake, different exhaust, but overall, it's the same engine, but the big difference is the ergonomics. For me, it's not that bad to commute. Usually when I commute, my commute in total is maybe 1 hour, and that includes a mix of, on street as I'm on right now, or on the freeway. So since it blends back and forth, I have an opportunity to get this bike up and on the road, and it works out for me. Now, not everybody rides a Boost, and I get that, so I guess you could ask, is it comfortable to ride a bike that maybe a smaller CC, like a 600 or something like that? Maybe oh geez, bruh, pay attention. Is it maybe more comfortable to ride maybe like a smaller CC bike? Is, a Hayabusa too much to commute with if you're commuting a couple times a week or even every day? If you're gonna ask my feelings on it, you can commute on whatever you want to commute on. This is the bike that I have. This is what I commute on. I'm not about to tell somebody that it's not a good idea to commute on a sport bike like this size. Is it necessary? Absolutely not. It's not necessary to have a bike this size. But since I spend a lot of time on the highway, this bike is definitely, for me, more fun. It's got the heavier weight, so that way when I'm on the freeway, I can feel more comfortable at speed. Oh, I don't know, they made hybrid Porsches now. That's slick. But bro, yeah, it's a hybrid Porsche. You don't see that every day. I'm getting a Porsche. I'm not getting no hybrid. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's gonna be straight turbo, slam, everything. It's gonna be straight fast. But anyway, but yeah, guys, I mean, it doesn't really matter what size of a bike you commute on. I mean, personally, if I'm commuting maybe a 30-minute commute, I wouldn't want to take this bike out. I mean, I would definitely hit the B-King out, or a smaller bike. If I had a smaller sport bike, even a Grom. If I was commuting downtown, since I live so close to downtown Phoenix, I would take a Grom, and I'd be very comfortable on that, all things considered. It's perfect. That thing is the perfect size. I'm only really going, up and down the street, not even hitting the freeway. So if I'm not staying at the freeway, yeah, commute on a smaller bike, it just makes sense because you don't really need that extra power. And even then, 1300 cc's is honestly too much. I mean, pretty much 1300 cc's is the same engine displacement as most small cars, like a Nissan Sentra. How to have like the 1.3 or something like that, or like a 1.8. If this thing had 2000 cc's, man. Okay, all right, see how you doing. See how you living. But yeah, guys, honestly, when it comes to commuting, commute on whatever you want to commute on. I know some people may say that it may be uncomfortable to ride a sport bike on the street, and after a while it is. I mean, in stop-and-go traffic, it can be a little uncomfortable, but people are going to tell you to make sure you got the right riding position. If people start complaining about their wrists and their hands and all this, that, and the other, people are going to say, well, what's your riding position like? Why are you putting so much weight on your handlebars? You need to put, you got to use your legs, you know what I'm saying? Use your legs and grip the tank. Use your lower back, all that kind of stuff. So you get people like that. But honestly, commute on whatever you want to commute on. Me personally, if I had a smaller displacement bike, I would get a smaller displacement bike to go out and commute. I don't really need a 1000cc bike. Really don't even need a 600cc. Honestly, if you got something that's 300 to 400cc, even 250cc's, that's perfect. Especially if you're primarily on the street, it is perfect. You're not struggling with that bike. So again, I don't see why people feel that they need to have all this power just to commute. It's really not necessary. I personally like this bike because of its size. That's the reason why I had it. If some brand made a bike that was this size and that looked this good, then yeah, I'd pick that up to make it a commuter bike back and forth. I mean, you think about something like the Suzuki Bandit that's maybe this size. Again, that's super high displacement. Or even that old Suzuki Katana, it's a 600, but man, that thing just looks ugly to me. I just don't like it. It looks much uglier than this. But yeah, guys, you don't really need 1300cc styles. You don't even really need 600cc's. You really just don't need it, and I say that because of the amount of, I mean, unless you just want to get a speeding ticket. I mean, this is what's going to happen. People use those high cc bikes to get the fast acceleration, to get the power. You know, that's all it's good for. But again, like me, I'm on the highway a lot, so when I commute, I could appreciate that extra bit of power because I could pass. I appreciate the weight, so I feel planted at speed, so it just makes sense for me. But you do what's best for you. Let me know what you think in the comments. What bike do you commute with to work? 602 out.